Hi, welcome to our screencast of DQguru. My name's John Kemp. I am a principal consultant with SQL Power Group, and want to spend a little time walking you through some of the features of DQguru. We actually created DQguru after numerous initiatives with clients where we would be doing some data transformation or migration of data, and of course there'd be a few problems with the data. And we were faced, with really only two ways of correcting it. We could either go out and buy an expensive tool or have the client buy the expensive tool. And we're talking a lot of money here, in many cases mid-six figures. Or we'd actually build our own data cleansing routines in something like C++, or if we could do it within SQL, we would do that. Of course, that was added expense, and it slowed down the project. So we got, that was the impetus for us to create the product DQguru, which we like to think of as the data cleansing and MDM tool that experts use. And DQguru is an open source product. It's a master data management tool. It runs against pretty much all major databases that are out there: Oracle, MySQL, Postgres SQL, Sybase. In fact, today we're actually going to be running against a Postgres SQL database. And one of the really nice things about it is it's Java-based. It's platform independent. It'll run on the Windows releases, on the Mac OSs, on Linux, on pretty much anything where you can get a Java machine running. In fact, on today's demo, we're running against Mac OS 10. The DQguru really does three major types of cleansing or data correction. First is deduplication or de-duping. That's where you can define a set of rules, and DQguru will go and remove duplicate entries based on those rules. We have a cleansing project or a cleansing function that cleans up the data. You can remove extraneous values, you can correct alphanumeric casing, case types, you can add or remove data, pretty much anything that the functions will support. Finally, we have address correction capabilities, and unfortunately right now it's only for folks in Canada, but we have a component that provides Canadian address correction against the Canada Post SERP database, and that will allow you to meet their requirements for discounts on your mass mailings. Unfortunately, there is a subscription required for that, as the SERP data provided by Canada Post doesn't come for free. There's actually a charge there. Today, though, we're going to, for this session, we're going to look at how to clean your data. So I'm going to flip over to DQguru. I've already started it up, and I have a demonstration folder. So on the left side, there's a organizing window that allows you to organize what you're doing. You can have multiple folders. You can put your projects within those folders. And what we call a project is really doing one of the three main functions: de-duping, cleansing, or address correction. So I'm going to create a cleansing project, and I can do that just by selecting the project drop-down, new cleansing project, or I can right-click on my demonstration folder and create a project there. Within the project, there's a few things we have to do. We have to give it a name, and in this case we're doing a cleansing against the home phone number, so I'm just going to call it that. You have to tell it what data you're going against. In this case, I have a demonstration database in Postgres SQL that we're going to run against, and you also have to tell it what table you're going to hit. In this case, I've created a table called home phone that has some bad home phone data in it. And by the way I created that table was through a neat little utility that DQguru has called Build Example Table. If you click on Build Example Table, it will create sample messy data for you in a new table in whatever database you want to go against. So I previously set this up and created some data. Just to show you what that data looks like, I'm running another one of our products called Wabbit. And Wabbit is a graphical ad hoc query tool. And in this case, I'm looking at my table home phone, and I've basically done a select star against it to bring back data. And if you look at the home phone column, which is the third one in, My phone numbers are coming across in varying formats. They either have the dash or they don't. And ideally, I'd like all the data to look the same, so I'm going to clean up that data. So going back to DQguru, once we create our project, we can start to actually build the components to it. The heart and soul of DQguru in terms of defining your cleansing is what's called transformations. So you can create transformations for your project, and these are, you know, the data inspection and cleansing activities that you're going to run against your table that you defined for the project. So I can create a transformation either on the new transformation button, or as always, right click on transformations and create a new transformation. So we'll just go ahead and create one, and it automatically opens it up. And what's unique to the cleansing project is you'll note here, you know, we said we want to go against the home phone table. You'll see both a home phone table starting box and a home phone table ending box. Basically, because we're cleansing, we're going to repopulate that table after we've completed whatever cleansing we want to do. There are a couple of buttons on here that are worth talking about. Show all will show you all of the columns in the table, and show all at the bottom shows the corresponding output columns. I'm just going to hide that now because it takes up a bit of space. And basically you have these little dongles, for lack of a better term, that you can pull and drag and drop that kind of direct the transformations you want to do. So in this case, the only thing I'm going to work on is the home phone string, and that's the only one I want to change. So every other column, I just drag the dongle down from the input and connect it to the output. And for example, with last name, because I'm dragging it right down, I'm saying I don't want to make any changes to that data. It's fine the way it is. Just bring it across. So we're going to do that for everything but the home phone number. In the case of the home phone number, we want to, you know, have all of the numbers have 3 digits followed by a dash followed by 4 digits. So we have to do a few steps. The first thing I want to do is I need to get rid of, in those elements where they have a dash, I need to get rid of that dash. So I'm going to use a function called retain characters. And all that says is I want to retain the characters 0 through 9. Everything else, drop it and get rid of it. So that's my first step. So if I was to run this as is, I would end up with a home phone number that had just numbers in it, no longer had the dashes. But that's not good enough. I want to put that dash back in. So the way I do that is I use, first off, I'm going to substring my resulting data where I've stripped out the dashes. So I just drag and drop from this step to the next one. And I'm going to tell it I just want to grab the first 3 digits. And the other thing is I need to grab the last 4 digits. So I'm going to take another substring. And here's what's interesting. I can, you know, from any step or function, I can actually branch it off. So in this case, I'll take those results again where I've got the values 0 through 9, and I'm just going to grab the last 4 digits. And just hide that away. That little button there lets me hide, you know, what's going on in the function. So now I've got 2 results coming out. I've stripped out all extraneous characters other than the numbers 0 through 9. I've grabbed the first 3 down this path, and I've grabbed the last 4 down the other path. I got to put them back together now, though. So I'm going to use a concatenation command. And concat works pretty much like it does in SQL, if you're familiar with that. It joins 2 strings together. So I'm going to join my first 3 to my last 4. Now what's interesting is I can save some work here because it lets me specify a delimiter. And what the delimiter says is, you know, between each of the strings that I'm putting together, put in whatever I've put, which in this case is a dash. So if it didn't do this, I'd actually have to go and use a string constant, which is this function here, and append it in the middle. But we don't have to do that. So we'll just get rid of this. And again, to get rid of it, you can right-click on the function you don't want and just delete it.